I've been seeing Chelsea fans lament because João Pedro have chosen the number 9 jersey, dropping his old number to pick the number 9 jersey going to the new season. And a lot of Chelsea fans are not liking it. They don't like the idea that João Pedro dropped his old number to pick the infamous number that a lot of strikers have come to Chelsea and not succeed with. Now, I went further to make a research about this number 9 jersey. Like, people have been talking about the cosplays on the jersey and all the mysterious things that happen to players that were very, very hot when they came to Chelsea and done that jersey and they never succeeded, right? We could go on and on to name players that have worn that jersey at Chelsea that never succeeded. The likes of Elino, Fernando Torres, who wore it at Chelsea. This was a guy who was very, very good at Liverpool. He wore the number 9 at Liverpool, came to Chelsea, wore that same number 9 and became a flop. We can go on and on to mention players that have worn the number 9 and they never succeeded at Chelsea, right? So, and I went for that to look at what is actually the number 9 jersey really cost. And according to what I saw, I say yes, the Chelsea number 9 shirt is widely considered by fans and pundits to be cost due to the long history of high-profile strikers struggling or flopping after wearing it. So I'm not asking, why did they allow João Pedro to wear that jersey number? Why would they allow him to wear the jersey number? Since this thing has been a problem to many players that have been very, very prolific from their former club coming to Chelsea to wear the number, they became flop. We can go on to mention the likes of Lukaku, who was, bagging in goals. But when he came to Chelsea, he became a flop because he wore that number 9. So why would João Pedro look at every other number at Chelsea? He decided to pick that number 9. Now I will take you further. Look at Liam Delap, who was bought from, I can't remember his club, his former club. He was banging in goals in that club. He was doing excellently well. But as soon as he came to Chelsea and wore the number 9, he became a flop. He played like a woman. He turned to Maggie, he turned to salt. The guy could not perform anymore. So João Pedro, who has been performing now, before we end this number 9, he had been performing. You can see literally he tried last season. He scored about goal and assist, about 25 goal and assist last season for Chelsea, despite the poor form of Chelsea last season. Now coming to this season, he has dropped that number 9. He has dropped the former jersey he wore. I think he wore 29 or thereabout. Now he's coming to pick number 9 jersey. What if this guy became a flop? What if this guy turned out to be a flop? Because a large number of fans believe that number 9 is called because he can go on and on to mention players that have won it before and they become flop. If João Pedro becomes a flop, Chelsea will suffer for it. Chelsea will suffer for it. And I heard that João Pedro, don't even believe that that cost is real, right? This guy look for the old number where the Chelsea, that number I pick. When I begin to pray for this guy, and I need to Chelsea fans, you guys begin to pray, need to kabash for his head because if this guy flop, if he no score goals, Chelsea go struggle. Chelsea go struggle. And the hit will be on the coach. Yes, if players fail to perform, now coach and they collect the hit. So Xabi Alonso, you need to start telling this guy not to dump that number and take another number. You need to. Anyway, let's see how it pans out.